My name is Andrew McQuality with McQuality Designs and Services. Today is Saturday, December 30th, 2017 at 12:58 p.m. This is the transit we're going to be using to determine what the grade is in and around the entire perimeter of the clubhouse here at 3147 Willow Creek Road, which is also known as Building 1. Along with the transit, we're going to be using this here rod to determine the measurements around the entire part of the clubhouse. We have placed these flags at different locations, numbered 1 through 78, and made a corresponding diagram to record each measurement accurately. We've placed the flags at different measurements around the entire perimeter of this building. We are going to be showing what the grade is if this area were to fill up with water, which way is it going to be headed? Is it going to be headed out towards the street? Is it going to be headed towards the back of the building? The measurements we're going to be using will determine and show which way everything is headed in the current state as of today. Again, just more flags we've placed around the perimeter. We are now going to head around to the back center of the clubhouse. We started taking measurements back on this southeast side of the clubhouse. During these measurements, the transit was set up in the southeast corner of the clubhouse, just behind where the camera is set up now. From this location, we will be able to compare measurements from the southeast corner up the east side of the clubhouse and into the northeast corner of the clubhouse. We've just walked up the east side of the clubhouse, now approaching the northeast corner of the clubhouse, where we will get our final numbers from this location. Around the corner to the northwest corner, so we're just going to scoot the film over here very quickly. We've now set the camera in the front center of the clubhouse, in front of 3147 Willow Creek Road. And we're going to show with the orange flags the measurements over here of now that the transit is set up right over here. Boop. From that transit spot there, it's going to shoot down all the way down the west side of the clubhouse, so we can get a lot of measurements from this one location. So first we're going to start over here with the rod to determine what the grade differences are in this area. We've now started with the transit in its new location. Again, we will be using the rod to determine positive or negative grade on the front side of the clubhouse. Now we have to pan to the right, so the camera will be over here on our next set of flags, which will be the northwest corner, still determining what the grade is to or from the building. So we just need to quickly move the camera over here closer to where the transit's at so it can shoot down the west side of the clubhouse. Along this side, we have 4 flags next to the bottom of the stem wall, and also corresponding flags 5 feet out to determine the grade from the building to the wall. We've also placed flags on each end and one in the middle so we can determine the grade from the front to the back corner of the clubhouse. Just a slight adjustment to the camera. Going to move the camera to the southwest corner so we can capture these last few measurements on the west side of the clubhouse. Now that we placed the camera in the back south part of the the clubhouse. We're going to put the transit up here, and we're going to get a new set of numbers for this entire back location, which starts here and heads over this direction. Now we're going to move the camera again to show this area, and also pull it back just slightly to show what the numbers are here. Now we're going to go around the entire perimeter to show you the measurements we've recorded. The tallest measurements indicate the lowest grade in that area. Now we're going to move over to the southeast corner. Again, the tallest measurements are the lowest grade in the area. As you can see, the lowest point here is right next to the stem wall of the clubhouse. In this next area, you can see the lowest point is 3 feet out from the stem wall. The grade difference in this area is 5 1/4 inches, sloping towards the clubhouse. In this area, there are 2 areas lower than the rest, here and here. Next, we are going to head over here for one more overall look of this area. As you can see here, this area is going to fill with 2 3/4 inches of water before it will start to drain over here, which is towards the back side of the clubhouse. Here is a low area near the southeast corner of the clubhouse. As you can see, there is a water stain from sitting water. Water would accumulate 2 inches deep in this area before it could drain. We're going to head down the east side of the clubhouse so you can see our measurements of this area, which will also show in what direction the grade is headed. Here in this first section, starting at 5 feet out, we have a 3-inch slope towards the outer stem wall. The lowest point in this area is here. In this next section of the east side, we have our lowest area being here, and our highest area being here. In this area, the surface is sloping in this direction 6 1/2 inches. One last view of the east side of the clubhouse facing south. From the front to this area here, the grade drops 6 1/4 inches, and from the back to the same location, the grade drops 5 1/4 inches towards the center. Let's take a closer look at some of these holes near the stem wall. As you can see, this one dips down 6 1/2 inches. In this area, we mostly have a negative grade away from the stem wall, with only one small area that slopes towards the clubhouse in this area. Heading over to the northwest corner of the clubhouse, from here you can see there is one low area right under the window. Other than this one area, everything is sloping correctly. Here is a smaller area that slopes towards the stem wall 3 inches. Heading over to the most northwest corner, you can see that everything is sloping away from the clubhouse. From here to here is 5 feet and it slopes 2 3/4 inches away from the clubhouse. From here to here is also 5 feet and it slopes 1 3/4 inches away from the clubhouse. Heading around the corner to the west side of the clubhouse, we have our lowest point here. From the lowest point in the front to the lowest point in the back, the grade slopes 3 3/4 inches towards the rear of the clubhouse. Moving just forward, you can see our low area being here. Over this short area, the grade has sloped 4 inches towards the rear of the clubhouse. In this next section, we have another 5 inches that the surface slopes towards the rear of the clubhouse. Also in this 5-foot section, the surface is sloping towards the stem wall of the clubhouse. In this last section of the west side of the clubhouse, we captured our last set of numbers before we had to move the transit. From the previous lowest point, we've come down another 3.5 inches to this point here. In this area, for the most part, the surface is level. We are now headed to the back southwest corner of the clubhouse. The transit has now been moved just behind the camera. The first area here, which is 5 feet out from the stem wall, slopes towards this corner 1 1/2 inches. Also, from this same location, the surface slopes this way 2 inches. As we move over to the back middle of the clubhouse, the surface continues to slope in this back area. From the lowest point here, the surface raises 1 1/4 inches this way. And if we can recall in the first set of measurements, it also showed the surface was sloping in this direction.